morning, True Sippers. Happy Saturday. It's your girl, Truth Hurts, coming to you with another video. Happy Saturday, everyone. I hope everybody is going to have. Now, I plan on dropping this video early in the AM. So, whatever time I drop it, hopefully you all are having a blessed Saturday. I pray that everyone has a blessed Saturday. Please enjoy your day. Love on your family. And be very, very safe out there, okay? Um, First of all, I want to thank everyone, new and old, that is supporting this channel. Thank you so much. Welcome to my new subscribers. Thank y'all so much for supporting the channel. I really do appreciate it. Please make sure you hit that like button on the way in. Make sure if you're not subscribed, you hit that subscribe button and also the notification bell so you can receive a notification every time I drop a video. Shout out to the True Sipper, shout out to State Gang, shout out to the team, shout out to everyone that's supporting me as I go through this healing journey. With that being said, y'all, I'm gonna get started. I'm not gonna do a whole lot of extra talking on this one because I think it's gonna be a little lengthy. I'm not for sure. But I think I got everything in I wanted to say. Y'all please be sure to I'm thinking that I'm gonna do this one as a premiere. Trey gave me the bright idea, which I didn't think of, to do my uploads as premiere, so you all can type in the chat so I can see in real time what you're thinking, how you're feeling, and things of that nature. So I'm going to attempt to do this upload as a premiere so we can be chatting away in the chat together, okay? So yeah, with that being said, y'all, we're gonna get into it. So this video right here is going to be a follow-up to the video I did talking about the 7 stages of grief. So this video right here is sort of kind of like a follow-up to that. And this one is entitled 10 tips for coping with loss. Okay, 10 tips for coping with loss. So let's get started, y'all. Sorry for the brief silence, y'all. I said a little prayer. I said a quick little prayer. I always try to pray before I do these videos. I always pray that doing these videos and bringing these videos to you all will help someone, okay? Because I do believe that I feel in my spirit that they're helping me. So with that being said, let's get started. Okay. According to, and I'm gonna put the link to this website in the description box. This comes from a place called the Recovery Village, and they have a website. It's therecoveryvillage.com, and this is where I'm getting this information for today. So it says losing a loved one can be the most difficult. Wait a minute, let me start over. Losing a loved one can be one of the most difficult experiences people face in life. Coping with grief can seem like a difficult task at times, and overcoming grief can seem impossible. As you face grief, an important factor is the expectation of healing. Instead of focusing on how to overcome grief, a better approach is considering how to incorporate this grieving experience into your life story. Okay? So, according to the Recovery Village, the number one thing in dealing with coping with grief is remember and celebrate the life of your loved one. It says grieving a loved one is a painful and bittersweet experience, since part of the grief process is recalling memories of the person you have lost. An important part of healing is remembering and talking about your loved one. Also, let's see. It says often the term celebration of life is used as an alternative to a funeral, as this phase offers a reminiscent quality that honors the memory of the deceased and celebrates what this person brought to the world. By allowing yourself to remember, talk about, and celebrate the life of your loved ones, you can honor them in important ways. Now, for that one right there, for me, talking about my loved ones that I've lost, it just comes natural. Like in losing, my brothers, my granny, my son, my Tony, everybody that I've lost, I always talk about, especially especially holidays when the family gets together, whatever. But I find myself bringing up my deceased loved ones on a daily basis. Like I talk about my son all the time. I talk about my Tony all the time. I talk about my brothers all the time. It's just natural for me. Um, it's natural for me to bring up, and I just bring it up in general conversation. Like I could be talking on the phone, I could be talking to my parents, to my girls. I talk about my deceased loved ones all the time. Talk about the good times, and that's what we try to focus on, the good time, the memories and things of that nature. I still talk about Tony every day like he's still here. Even with my son, it's not a day that goes by I don't talk about them in some sort of kind of way. All right, so number two would be acknowledge your feelings. Grief can be such a painful experience that sometimes people actively avoid their feelings in the hope of sparing themselves the discomfort. When it comes to grief, avoidance does not work. Avoiding grief may seem like the best alternative, but the pain awaits you, and eventually it needs to be faced and experienced. Emotions relating to grief can vary tremendously. I'm sorry. You may find that your feelings change rapidly, and it's perfect. I tell y'all all the time, my emotions and my feelings are everywhere. Like at even any given time, they're everywhere. Acknowledge your feelings, not only to yourself but to others. As you are grieving, you may experience sadness, guilt, anger, and remorse. It is also not uncommon for feelings of relief to emerge, particularly if the loved one had been suffering. This range of emotions is a normal part of grieving. Acknowledging it and expressing it in a healthy is it let me start over, y'all. I need to slow down. Okay, slow down, true. Acknowledging it and expressing it is a healthy way to navigate the grief process. As you talk about your feelings and remember the life of your loved one, others are likely to do the same, which can help facilitate their healing as well as your own. Um, I gotta work on that one. Like I do acknowledge my feelings. I just always acknowledge my feelings when I'm by myself. Like I don't like to show a whole lot of emotion to others. Like I don't like to cry to others. I don't like to be sad. I find myself a lot of times, like when I get a phone call, I'll brace myself. Even if I've had a moment right before that call, I'll kind of brace myself to talk to the person on the other line and not indicate that, I've just, had a little mini breakdown or whatever. Um, I'm gonna just say I'm gonna use this phrase to describe me. I cry a lot in the dark. Yeah, I cry a lot in the dark. I cry a lot by myself. Um, I do, and I think with acknowledging feelings, I have to be honest, and I still find myself doing it, y'all. Like get somebody to call and say, how you doing? Are you okay? Da 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 da. And deep down, I know I'm not, but I don't want to put that burden on others. Like I grieve and deal with things in silence, to be honest, like to myself. So, yeah, I think I have to work on that one. Um, Number three is take care of yourself. Grief can be so intense at times that it can interfere with your ability to notice your own needs. Grief and self care is an important consideration. Even though it may feel unimportant in the moment, it is crucial. Um, Taking care of yourself can be defined in many ways, and it's truly an individual experience that only you can determine. What does self care look like for you? Getting adequate sleep, I don't. Attending to physical health and staying connected with friends and helpful ways to keep your wellness on track during times of grief. Taking care of yourself may mean saying no to extra responsibilities or obligations for a while. Grief can be exhausting and may mean that you need to protect your energy until you start to feel better. Attending to your self-care during times of grief is a necessary focus to move forward to move towards healing. It isn't selfish, self absorbed, or greedy. Self care is a way of honoring your own health and wellness as you recover from a major loss. Self care is self compassion. Now, as far as self care, that's another one that I'm still working on. Um, like I said, um, I don't get a whole lot of sleep. I don't. I really don't, and I have to work on that. And I don't like to take anything um to help me sleep because I don't like to uh go into a deep sleep. I don't like being in a deep sleep like that. So yeah, I don't get a whole lot of sleep. Um as far as eating, I don't eat like I supposed to. I'm gonna be honest. I don't. I eat just enough. I think to I eat just enough to take my medications. A couple of my medications require that I eat something. I can't take them on an empty stomach. So I do eat, try to eat enough to take my medications, but I don't eat a whole lot. Um, Now my physical health. Now I think I've told you all before. No, I'm no idea. Y'all know I've had 2 heart attacks. Now my second heart attack that I had, my son died in February. I had my second heart attack in April, and when it happened, I wasn't surprised it happened. I'm not gonna say that I had given up on life. I mean, I was very, very, very depressed, but I was not taking my medications the way I was supposed to. On top of not eating, not sleeping, just emotionally, just messed up, and I was not taking my medications like I was supposed to. Um, because I just wasn't. I just didn't. And so I ended up having a second heart attack. Now, I did promise myself this time that I wouldn't let that happen. I'm trying my best not to, you know, do some of the things or do some of the things that I didn't do back when I lost my son, because I do know if I don't take my medications like I'm supposed to, 9 times out of 10, I'll probably have another heart attack. And that's the first thing that my parents were concerned about when I lost my Tony, because they know me. They know what I went through when I lost my son. So basically, that's one of the things that they were, sort of kind of afraid of, that I would um, fall into that again. But I will say that I have been taking my medications. Now, the other 2 things I have to work on, but yeah, I'm doing that. So, moving on. Maintain a healthy diet. So right here is gonna get me. It's an important part of self-care is eating well. During a period of grief, it may feel difficult to eat adequately. Sometimes depression, anxiety, and physical symptoms of grief can result in a worsened diet and decreased ability to eat normally. Because of these physical and emotional demands, it is even more crucial to consume a healthy diet. Eating a healthy balance of vitamins and minerals is an important part of managing grief and depressive symptoms. Avoiding empty carbohydrates, sugary foods, and alcohol are also important factors in maintaining a healthy diet during periods of grief. Even if you find yourself eating small amounts at a time throughout the day, making those food choices count can make all the difference in how your body feels and recovers. Remember that making drastic dietary changes during a period of grief may not be the best idea. Perhaps you can maintain your usual eating patterns during this time and incorporate healthy foods for depression. Drastic changes during times of grief can be risky. It may be best to make small changes, and this includes your dietary habits. Now, I will say that I do have a regimen of vitamins that I take. I do have, along with my prescribed medications, I do have vitamins, certain vitamins that I take. I do take those. I do make sure I take my vitamins. Um, like I say, as far as eating, um, I don't eat a whole lot. I don't. But yeah, I that's another thing I have to work on too as well. Getting my appetite back. Number 5 is get moving. Using exercise to cope with grief is a healthy strategy for healing. Exercise and grief are a good combination because of the natural boost that exercise offers your mind and body. Not only does exercise improve cardiovascular health, but it also releases endorphins in the brain that create feelings of well being. Exercise helps depression in many ways, and grief is no exception. Whether you take up biking, jogging, yoga, or simply walking with a friend, there is no wrong way to do it. Incorporating exercise into your daily routine can significantly benefit your depression and grief experience. It may be helpful to join an exercise class where you can meet other people and focus on a common activity. The distraction of meeting others in a social situation while enjoying some healthy physical activity is a great coping strategy for grief and depression. The act of getting more in tune with your body's needs and strengthening your physical health is an ideal way to during treat yourself well during your time of grief. Exercise will not cure grief, but is a healthy method of dealing with difficult emotions when they arise. Now, as far as exercise, I do have an exercise bike that I jump on every morning. I've been doing that for a minute. I may skip a morning here or there, but I do typically try to get on that my bike for at least 30 minutes in the morning time. Um, After I eat my little breakfast that I eat for to take my medications. Now, as far as any other exercise, I absolutely love walking. I've always, in fact, me and Tony used to walk all the time together. We were walking around the neighborhood. We would go to this park that's about 10 minutes away from my house, and we'll walk around that park. That's something that he and I did together. And I told y'all that a lot of things that Tony and I did together, I sort of kind of uh, been shying away from. But as far as the walking, I think what I'm going to start next week, and I'm going to try my best to hold myself to it, and I'm going to start back walking. I'm gonna start back going out, and I'm just gonna walk around my neighborhood, maybe for 30 minutes or so. Cause I do enjoy while it's peaceful. I have my headphones on. When it was Tony and I though, we would just use that time to talk. We just talk. We didn't, have headphones and music and all that. That was our time to just, walk together and talk together. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start back walking, and I'm just gonna have my earbuds in, listening. But that's another thing. I've not been able to listen to music, so I don't know how that's going to work out. Maybe I can incorporate both of those things together and bring myself back to doing both of them. Maybe I can start back listening to my music as I walk. Maybe I can do that. But yeah, that's something I'm going to work on starting next week. Um, number six is understand that grief is unpredictable. Grief can make you feel completely out of control, which is an unnerving feeling and can bring a great deal of discomfort. The unpredictable, oh Lord, the unpredictable, this is funny. Y'all see it, of the grieving process is normal. You may find that you are crying at unexpected times, yes. Strong feelings can emerge seemingly from nowhere and can hijack any given moment during periods of grief. It may be that during your grief process, you find yourself surrendering to the tides of emotion as they come and go. It may seem as though you are at the mercy of these strong feelings, and that is completely normal. The more you try to avoid feelings and maintain control, the more difficult it will be to recover from grief. Remember, no one should expect you to be over it or to snap out of grief. There is no specific time frame for grief, and it is individual and unique to the person experiencing it. Your feelings may be unpredictable, and that is to be expected at a time of great loss. Now, I have a little bit control over when I have um like just the whole emotional breakdown or whatever, because like I say, I don't like crying in front of others. I don't like upsetting my parents. I don't like upsetting my kids, my friends. I really don't like upsetting my grandkids. And for anybody that has grandkids or small kids, you know that when you cry, those babies will a lot of times cry with you, not even knowing what what's wrong, and now ask you what's wrong or whatever. But I do when I'm alone. Uh, I do when I'm alone. Let it all out. And even when I'm alone, sometimes I'll try to hold it in because I feel like because like I told y'all a while ago, Tony, he never liked to see me upset. Like he never liked to see me cry. That's just something that he just didn't like. He would always try to comfort me. And so y'all might hear my granddaughter. She's over there in the bed asleep, honey. Y'all gonna hear her. She probably snoring and everything else. But um, and sometimes when I be crying, even when I'm alone, I I I feel a little guilty, and I will stop because I always feel like he's watching me. A lot of times feel like he's right next to me. So if I'm crying, and then all of a sudden I think about it, and then I all of a sudden stop. I'll just stop, because I'll be like, I think me crying makes him sad. I know it made him sad, when he was here. So it's a lot, y'all. It's a lot. See, no, I'm sorry, not number 6. Number 7 is be patient with yourself. As you experience the range of emotions that come with grief, be patient with yourself. You may have times in which you wonder if you will ever feel fine again. Sit with those moments and trust yourself to heal. It will happen, and it takes time. Be gentle with yourself. Listen to what your mind, body, and spirit are asking. What your mind, body, and spirit are asking for, and honor your needs just as you would honor the needs of your loved one who has passed. Often we hold ourselves to a different standard than we do others. Ask yourself how you would treat a friend who was grieving, and give yourself the same kind of compassion and love. Grieving takes time. There is no shortcut around it. It is a natural process we experience when we care deeply for someone who has died. Offer yourself the love, kindness, compassion, and patience that you would give a friend. Um, I totally agree with that one. Yeah, you have to be patient with yourself, and it's what others around you that care about you. Your support system should also be patient. So number 8 is reach out to others dealing with loss. One of the best ways to walk through your grief and heal from it is by reaching out to others who are dealing with loss. Helping others deal with grief is a mutually beneficial endeavor. It is powerful. It is a powerful experience to sit with others who are going through the same emotions of grief and loss. Conversing with others who are grieving offers a sense of normalcy that is hard to come by during periods of grief. The feeling of connection with others who are grieving can offer hope and healing to all involved. Not only reaching out to loved ones who experience the same loss, but reaching out to people in the community who are grieving can be a significant benefit. No one should be left alone to grieve. It is therapeutic to be with others who are going through the same emotional journey and to talk about the impact of grief on one's life. It may surprise you how similar your grief experience is to others, and talking about it openly can offer a level of healing that is unparalleled. Connecting with others and sharing similar feelings is a therapeutic experience that can help with the grieving process and facilitate healing. Now, um, I do talk to my loved ones, of course, about our grief. We all talk about our grief or whatever. I have spoken to you know friends, couple of true siblings, as a matter of fact, about their grieving, and we talk about our grieving. But I'm not at a point right now to where I want to just really talk to others about my grief. Like I said, I told y'all, I keep a lot of stuff to myself at this point. I'm trying to get better with it, but I really don't like talking about it a lot because it really, really hurts. It hurts. And like I said, normally when me and my family speak, we'll just be having general conversations um and we'll just bring up what you know. But as far as like, I just got to get better with that, y'all, because I'm still being a little introvert. Well, a lot of introvert and keeping to myself, staying to myself, and not talking to a whole lot of people. So that's another one that I have to work on. I do know that talking in a group setting does help. I've done group therapy before, and it does help. It really does, but I'm just not at that point to where I want to do that yet with strangers and things of that nature. But so number 9 would be seek out support. Seeking support is crucial during times of grief. Support can come from friends, family, grief support groups, grief counselors, and online support options. Community resource guides and local listings are often the ideal places to locate support groups. Many physicians' offices have lists of support resources available in your community. Most local hospitals have connections with social workers and hospice programs. These resources commonly offer grief support groups to people of all ages. There are countless ways to access support, and the important step is to reach out and ask for it. Sometimes, when grief is overwhelming, it can be difficult to ask for help. But remember that people are mind readers. The best way you can get help and support is to let others know you are struggling. Grief doesn't have to be compounded by loneliness. Support is available and accessible if you can take that first step. And that's what I encourage, even though I probably have to take my own advice as to like reaching out. But like I said, I have my therapist, I have my family, my circle of friends, my church family, but like I said in a previous video, a lot of people don't have that. So I do encourage those that don't have that support circle, that support system, to reach out, because there are a lot of programs out there to help with all types of grief, depression, mental illness. All of that is out there. It's absolutely out there. And I do encourage anybody, um because you don't have to handle grief alone. Even if you don't have a huge support system, there are, people and resources that you can reach out to. Now, if you're like me, for some odd reason, like I said, I've been saying I like to grieve alone. I do. A lot of times when I'm surrounded by the people that love me, I really and truly be wanting to be alone. But you got to know my family and stuff to know that, that's just it ain't gonna happen. Even if I put all of the grown ups out, I'll keep the crumb snatchers. I'll keep them anytime. Like I'll be around them. As long as I feel like I'm not gonna have a whole meltdown or breakdown, I'll have them around 24/7, because it's just something about those little ones that help. They really do. They are a ray of sunshine always. Last but not least is number 10. And number 10 is accept your new reality. Now, one of the final stages of grief is acceptance. Early on in the grieving process, it may feel impossible that you can ever make it to a place of acceptance of this new reality without your loved one. Accepting grief and loss is a hard earned accomplishment in the grieving process. There are stages of grief, and it's normal to go through these varying stages at different times during your healing process, and even return to prior phases just when you think you've finished them. As you navigate the new reality that includes loss and grief, you may eventually develop a sense of meaning around your loss, or a recognition that this grief experience has changed you in profound ways. Grief can be a gift. But I don't know about that one. Grief can be a gift, and it can open your eyes to the important aspects of life and bring you back to your core values through this intense pain and loss. As you accept your new reality, grief can manifest in different ways that feel more like a blessing than you could have imagined. Be patient with your growth, your emotions, and your healing process. Part of accepting your new reality will be establishing acceptance of growth throughout the process. It is common to experience feelings of guilt when healing begins. Yeah, I do that. I do that, especially if I find myself laughing. For some reason, I don't think I should be uh, laughing at anything, but I do have those people in my life that make it a daily thing to make me laugh. Let me see. I lost my place. Yeah, it is common to experience feelings of guilt when healing begins. Remember that your healing is a part of the gift of grief, and it honors your loved ones. It is not a betrayal to get well and recover from grief. It is a natural, healthy part of the process. So yeah, I haven't reached that point yet, y'all. Like I told y'all in the previous video, I had somewhat gotten to that point when it came to my son, and Tony's passing just really triggered a lot of things in me that I was getting over. I think I was getting over, and it's just started all over again. So I don't know when I will reach the point of acceptance. Like I've lost a son and I've lost my soulmate, and those two losses, even though both, um, I mean, they hurt so bad, but they're two different. If I can explain it, it's two different types of hurt. Okay. And I'm not gonna get deep into what I mean by that because I will get emotional. But as far as with Tony, now my son was my son. I carried him for 9 months. I had him. I nurtured him. I cared for him. Took care of him for life. And that was a hurt that I, felt like I was never going to get over. Still haven't gotten over. And then this loss with Tony, it's like a totally different type of hurt because uh, it's like when you spend so many years with someone and your life becomes a routine and you become so comfortable and you're just happy and that person makes you happy and everything you do together it's just and you don't have that anymore. You just feel, I know, like I feel that I'm just never ever going to be happy again as far as that is concerned. And like I say, my family, my friends, my children, my grandkids, they make me happy. They do. But it's still that happiness that I shared with Tony is just gone because that man made me happy on a daily basis. No matter what we were going through, no matter what was going on, no matter what we were experiencing. And Tony and I experienced, between his families and my family, we experienced a lot of death in the years that we were together. And for each and every one of those losses, we held on tight, we held on close to each other, and we got through it together, along with our families. But we had a bond, I think, that I would never ever, and I speak this, and I was talking to a friend of mine that told me not to say it because you never know what might happen. But I think for me, for me, in my heart, I feel as though I would never ever meet anyone that I would bond with or love like I love my Tony. I just don't see it. I just don't see it because of the way that man treated me, the way he took care of me, the way I know he loved me. I just don't think that I'll ever find that again. So yeah, that's just a void that I guess I'm gonna have to live with. But yeah, so that's pretty much it, y'all, on the 10 ways to overcome grief or cope with grief. Hopefully y'all have enjoyed this information. Hopefully you'll go back and watch this video again and take in some of what this article is saying. I think it's a very good article. I read it, 2 or 3 times, um, because I think it was very helpful. It gives me something to work on. I can literally look down at on black and white and see what I need to work on as far as me. I hope and pray that this information will help some of you all in recovering. I know it's a lot of true siblings and state gang members that are still grieving. Uh, but I'm just hoping that this information that I bring you all is helping. I just want the ones that I know of that are dealing with grief or have dealt with grief. I just want you all to know that I continuously pray for your healing as well as mine, and that if you allow me to, I would love to take this journey with you all together, so we can somewhat get back to, you know, or we can somehow uh, just be okay. Just be okay. But with that being said, hopefully, I think I'm gonna do this as a premiere where I've been communicating with you all in the chat. If not, y'all please make sure y'all comment down below. Let me know what you think about this information. Tell me some of the ways that you're coping with your grief, um, and things of that nature. I love the feedback, y'all. I really, really do, and I hope and pray that y'all keep it going. Um, And yes, we can do this together, y'all. So with that being said, I'm in this video. I'm not sure if I went over my allotted time because I paused a couple of times, y'all. Because like I said, getting through some of this stuff be hard sometimes. But um, with that being said, I'm going to get ready to end this video for now. I am looking forward to the feedback. If you have to email me, please email me. Comment down below. Okay. Um, And yeah, I appreciate the support once again that I'm getting on this channel. I honestly do appreciate it. Y'all go back and watch replays. Just watch. I'm trying to get my watch hours up so that I can get this channel monetized. If you're in this, if you're listening to this upload and you're not a subscriber, please hit that subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified whenever I drop another upload. Um, If you want to support the channel, please do so through my Cash App or my PayPal. I do honestly appreciate the support. With that being said, listen, y'all have a blessed, beautiful Saturday. I think I should be dropping this video on Saturday. Saturday morning is when I think I'm gonna drop this video. Yeah, of course it's not Saturday morning right now, y'all, but I think so. So y'all have a beautiful Saturday. Okay, enjoy your friends, enjoy your family, enjoy your weekend. Be safe. Be blessed and never stressed. I love you all to pieces. I appreciate the support. And yeah, with that being said, True Sippers, stay gang, stand up. Okay? And we out. Until next time. I love y'all.